So hello everybody, my name is Mariusz, and today we're going to talk about technical leadership. I work with technical leaders. I help them to become leaders. I help people who are already leaders to become better leaders, and work with agile teams. And why the subject like this? You know, one of the main reasons is here, a career path in IT. You know, most of people who become leaders, of course, at the beginning, we are juniors. Yes, we like languages, we like frameworks, libraries, we love programming and other technical stuff. Of course, we become more and more experience, we have more understanding, we are more of the rules that are in software development. Then we become regular developers, after some time senior developers, and when we are very pragmatic and have a deep knowledge and experience, our boss comes to us and tells and says something like this: okay, it's time for you to become a leader. And for most of us, this is a very frustrating day, because we got used to live in the world where rules are very strict and logical. And now we come to the world of people, where rules are very fuzzy, unpredictable, and something what worked in one environment when we did our technical task now doesn't work at all. The rules are very different, and for many technical leaders, it's a very frustrating time. It was also for me, because I also followed this path, and it is very difficult. And some time ago, I started to be interested. What is the technical leadership? What kind of persons should be technical leaders, or what kind should not be, or whether there is some kind of a measure that we are good candidates to do it. So this is what and why we're going to talk about it here. So the first question is, what is technical leader? And this is also the first problem, because I work with many companies, and almost every company have a different definition for technical leader. So I got some examples for you. These are not formal definitions. Technical leader is a person having appropriate knowledge and competences and using them to help PM in delivering high-quality product satisfying business needs. One definition. Another definition is, a technical leader is a person doing a tough work, father of successes, failures, because it's demanded by business people and developers. Another definition, technical leader knows what to do, knows how to achieve it, has a skill of persuading others to make vision a reality. And another definition, technical leader, a person who's able to combine soft skills and technical knowledge, ideally a programmer and a world leader in one person. So the question is, my question, and many of other leaders, is whether you really have to be a born leader. This is one question that we will try to find an answer here. Because I'm very interested in this subject, for some time, maybe 2 or 3 years, I have been surveying people just to find some kind of definition of technical leader. And I give some kind of some kind of exercise. I want people to remind a situation when they dealt with a person who would they call a technical leader, and ask them some questions about the situation. What was the environment? What kind of project? What was the goal? And so on and so on. What were the behaviors of a technical leader? What this leader could do? What kind of skills he had? What values he had? What kind of beliefs he manifested? And the last one, very interesting, what kind of label would you put on this leader? Just to find some more understanding about it. What people want from technical leaders. Of course, technical people. And I have for you some answers from this survey. So what technical leaders do? Asks questions. A leader was a mediator. Didn't force his solutions. Isolated from fires. Took care of meeting the requirements and monitoring them. Engage himself when it was necessary. He took the hard decisions and difficult decisions. Reminded of a goal. One of the leaders used to say, things we do are very important, but don't worry. Let's focus on solving problems. What kind of traits you can find in these technical leaders? Goal orientation, confidence, openness, building relations, calmness, courage. These are those things from the survey. And what kind of skills? Knowledge and experience. This is something that was very often in this survey. Positive communication, endurance and patience, mediation between the team and the rest of the world, or maybe inside the team, risk-taking, especially in the moments when there is no clear answer, and negotiations. So these kind of skills. And what kind of label? I took two very good examples. Good uncle, carer. So I think that these labels are a little bit confusing, because many of us have in our heads something what I call a stereotype vision of leader. Yes, because when we think of leaders, we think about historical leaders like Napoleon, JFK, or many others, or we think about leaders from movies like Braveheart or Wall Street Wolf, and we see people that just give a 10-minute speech, and people want to die for them. And the question is whether this type of leadership is something that we need in IT. And this survey says something different, that people, leaders in IT are different. And the question is, so what is it about? And one of the answers is that there are many different styles of leadership. And this type of leadership that is stereotypical is usually not something we really want in IT. This style, the stereotypical type, is so-called charismatic leadership. So this is very useful in situations when you have to take people to fight, to get them to the war and maybe die. And there is needed a lot of energy and passion. But in IT, this is not a situation we deal very often. Another type of leadership that we can choose is so-called transactional leadership. This kind of leadership is more about management. This kind of leadership focuses only on, mostly on tasks and on rewarding good behaviors and punishing bad behaviors. This kind of leadership is useful when we work in simple environments, in factories, manufacturing. Then this type of leadership may be good, but again, usually not in IT. Another kind of leadership is transformational leadership. This kind of leadership is, this kind of leaders take into consideration the other people, for example, the team, take into consideration their needs. These kind of leaders ask questions like whether the work we work is still appropriate. These kind of people question the status quo that exists in the system, and they try to change, to introduce the change in order to work better. And this is kind of a leadership that is more helpful in software development. We've got many other types of leadership, like visionary leadership, that is very necessary in situations when there is a creativity needed. So when we create new products, when we have to solve very, very difficult problems that nobody ever solved before. And another one that is very, very popular in agile context, so-called servant leadership. Well, leader is not leader, is a person who helps, who is more a facilitator than somebody that tries to lead the team. So we've got different styles. Transformational servant leadership are styles that are the most useful in software development context. And what about this born leader? When we think about born leader, we think mostly about this charismatic one, because charisma is something we usually have to born with. The other styles we can learn, and there are a lot of techniques and tools that support this kind of styles. But the charismatic style is very difficult to learn. So if you think about being a charismatic leader, yes, then you probably have to be born leader. But in other cases, there are just some skills that you have to practice, learn, and try. Okay, so there are different styles. Of course, depending on the context, we have to create our own style. But going back to the definition, let's try to find some kind of definition. There are many definitions of leaders and technical leaders. I always try to find something that is simple. So one of the best definition I found that is very simple is this one. A leader is a person who creates an environment to which others want to belong. And a very important word here is an environment. This is the core of this definition. Maybe to those people who are more familiar to agile mindset, heard something like this, that when you want to engage people or want to motivate people, you have to create a good environment so that they will find this engagement in this environment. And this is what it is about. But the question is, what is this environment? Because many times it's very difficult to figure out what we should think about when we think about environment. So environment is everything what's around the team and the project we do. So environment is, for example, a team itself, how team collaborates, how team communicates, How do we give feedback in the team? What kind of leader I am, if I am the leader? So this is one area. Another area is something that I call the craft. So this is mostly of the technical stuff. Software craftsmanship, quality, tools you want to do in your, you want to use in your environment. Another area is the process. So what kind of measures do we use? What kinds of meetings? And how do we organize these meetings? How do we organize tasks and our work around the tasks? This is another area of environment. And the last area is the rest of the organization. So the business of customers for which we create our products and other teams we work with. And this is an environment. And when you are a leader, maybe the first thing you should do, you should think about every of this area and list create the list of problems you have in every of this area. And then you should try to look for some solutions or probable solutions for this area, and then make some priorities about these problems and solutions, and then try to create a plan for this, how to address these problems that are in your environment. And maybe this is your important task here, to create this environment, to improve this environment. And this is how I understand the role of a technical leader. Another thing which we'll talk about here is about some kind of what's the difference between the leader and the expert? Because you know, if you followed this career path I was talking earlier before, probably you were an expert. So you were a very good programmer, for example, or a very good tester, or somebody else. So you were an expert, and now you become a leader. Many times you have to combine these two things. But now here we try to separate these two roles, just to understand what's the core of the responsibilities of this role. So let's try to answer some questions. What's the core of what the expert do? What's important to him? What should he know? What kind of skills he should have? What kinds of things he should do every day? And exactly the same for the leader. So what's the most important thing for the expert? Expert is mostly focused on task and doing task and develop its knowledge. This is the core responsibility of an expert. And expert is successful when he does his task, when he effectively does his tasks, and when he develops the knowledge. And the leader mostly focuses on the team and the environment in order to create an environment in which everything goes smoothly. So the most focus of a leader is on a team. And the most important skills of a leader are those skills that are about people, so-called soft skills. So when you become a technical leader, whether you want or not, you have to dig a little more in so-called so-called soft skills. Okay, got a bit some Mara here. Okay, but as I said before, in reality, many times we have to combine these two roles. So the role of the expert and the role of a leader. So we have to do, being a leader, we have to do some technical tasks also. And it's very difficult, especially at the beginning. I see this situation as some kind of continuum. So here we've got the ideal expert, and here we've got an ideal leader. So ideal leader is just leader, and he doesn't do the technical stuff by himself. An expert is somebody who only does the technical stuff. And in most cases, most of us are somewhere here. And of course, it's a very difficult situation when we try to be a leader and the expert in the same moment. An expert that have a very deep knowledge. It's very rarely successful in longer term. Because we've got one factor here, that is time. And when time moves, in most cases, you have a bigger team, or maybe more teams, or bigger problem, or bigger projects you run as a leader. So your responsibilities are bigger, and you have less time for being here to develop your technical knowledge and skills. So time puts you here. And it's for many people, it's very frustrating and difficult, because in your mind you have to do some kind of a shift that one day you will admit that maybe you will be not one of the best technical people in your team. But there's one strategy that I find very useful, and people who try to use it also. It's a approach that I call coaching. So if you want to be a leader and also still be in touch in tech stuff, you can do it in following way. You work with people. For example, you try to create the concept of a solution with these people. Then the people do these tasks and complete the task. And at the end, you try to get some knowledge and information about the end solution. And in this way, you can still be in touch with technical tools, solutions. So many leaders find it quite useful approach. Okay. And the last thing I want to talk about are some practices. You know, these were the models. We talked about some definition. Last year, I gave a talk about scenes of technical leaders, and many people asked me a question. Okay, these were scenes, but what kind of solutions we can use or maybe try? Because we are here in an area of soft skills, so there are no simple solutions. There are no silver bullets. We can only try things and find out whether they work or not, but there is no guarantee at all. So I've got some things for you to try if you are technical leaders. Okay, first thing is when you are leaders, you start to deal with many tasks, with many decisions, many informations. There's a lot around you, and it's very easy to get in some kind of a chase. Yes, you don't have time to think. Everything just happens. And one practice that is very useful in this situation, just to do everyday retrospectives. So give you 5 to 10 minutes every day, at the end, for example, of the day, and try to answer questions like, okay, what I have learned today? What would I do differently next time? What happened? you can really learn a lot in this way and improve a lot in this way. Just slow down. Another thing is one skill that is really helpful to learn is coaching. Especially when you as a leader deal with people that are smarter than you, especially in technical area. Because coaching is a skill, is a tool that you use when your goal is not to give answers to your team, but to ask questions that will help the team to find the answers. And this kind of skill is very important when you work with people that are smarter than you. When you work with people like juniors that they need a lot of learning, it's easier to tell them what to do and just give them some solutions. But in other case, use coaching. But it's also not so simple, because depending, when you have a team, you have different people. Some of them are more experienced, some of them are less experienced, some of them are more engaged, and some of them are less engaged. And depending on the situation, on this, on who you have in your team, you can use different approaches, and you should use different approaches working with these people. And this is the picture of a model that is called situational leadership, that tells you what to do depending on what kind of people you have in a team. So another thing is situational leadership. Another thing to try. Of course, reading a little bit about it. Another thing is about engagement and motivation. One of the thing that leader works on is engaging and motivation. And motivation is not something that you can do to somebody. In most cases, it doesn't work for a long time. The best way to motivate people is to know them, to know what's important for them, and try to create or modify the environment we talked about here, so that they can find what's important for them. And another tool is a feedback. For example, in Agile, there's a lot about feedback, because feedback is about motivation. And here you have a picture of a tool that is called Moving Motivators from book Management 3.0. That it's quite simple way how to learn in the team what's important to people in the team. Another thing that you should remember as a leader is that you should take care about the information flow. Many times we forget about sharing the goals, about sharing the vision, especially in big companies. When we be on a big project and our team just working on a smart part, people very easy forget what they are part of, what part of a bigger thing. And then when they lose this connection, they lose the sense of purpose. And the sense of purpose is very important in order for people to be motivated. And much more about it is in a book that's called Drive. This book tells us about 3 things that are very important for people at work. One is a purpose, another is autonomy, so ability to decide or have an influence of what happens in a project, in a team, and the mastery. So the ability to grow, to learn new things, and use competencies. Being a leader is about dealing with people, and this is one of the tricky part. I heard one sentence that is the essence of dealing with people. Be soft to people and tough to problems. So it means that you should be very concrete and consequent about problems you try to solve. But you should be very soft about people. And of course, it's very difficult. And this is one technique that I would like to recommend to you to learn how to deal softly with people, but still be focused on the problem. Non-violent communication. You're a leader. What you do is influences the team, whether you want it or not. So it's very important for you to manage your state. Many times I meet with leaders and the teams, and I find that what is important for leaders becomes in some way important for other people in the team. Maybe it's a matter of selection, because people choose to their teams people that are similar to them. But in some part, it's also this that people in some way get many things from leaders. Another thing is to be open and honest. And of course, it's maybe obvious, but what does it mean in practice? That you should talk openly about problems. When people complain, it's okay. It's a very good information, because it means that they are not afraid of complaining. And when they complain, it means also that they want to tell you something that is important for them, but something that doesn't happen. So when there are problems, when there are complaints, it's okay. Just talk about it. And many times when you try to find some positive intention in these things, I think that you will also find a solution. So be open about what happens in the team. And last thing, try to improve what you do. Of course, in approaches or methodologies like Agile or Lean, it's built in. But I also work with leaders that work in another environments. And then I encourage them to just employ this mindset of constant improving and eliminating wastes. So this is something what you should be doing all the time. Okay. So these are some hints, some things maybe to look a little bit more in detail somewhere else. And to summarize what we've talked about here, 3 things I would like to remember from what I told here. The first thing that you don't have to be a born leader. When you're a software developer leader, technical leader, being a ball leader, so how we called it a charismatic leader, really is not the thing we want in our industry. We want more about creating a team and creating an environment. And this is what is the most important goal of the leader, creating an environment to which other wants to belong. And we talk about some areas that we can consider talking about environment. And the last thing, we talk about a few practices that you can that are worth, in my opinion, to learn more about it, try them, and I think that they will help you a little bit with this very difficult task of being a technical leader. Okay. Before questions, I've gotten one thing I would like to tell you. I am writing a book about technical leadership. Of course, what is said here is just the tip of the iceberg. And if somebody wants to be a beta reader, so somebody who would give some kind of a feedback about this book, so please get me in touch. Here are some my handle, my email. So just try to get in touch, and if you would like to be a beta reader, give me information about it. So now a questions time. Do you have any questions?
If you want to become a leader, do you think it's more important to invest in the soft skills than the expertise in something, in the development or something like that?
Yeah, I think that when you are at the beginning of this path, of this road, yes, you have to invest in soft skills. Learning, because these are most important things here. When you deal with people, we have to understand how people think, why they do what they do, why they don't do what they do, and soft skills tries to give us some answers about it. So yes, this is something to learn. Any other questions?
I was thinking about leadership in agile teams. Is it different from other environments? In agile teams, it seems like leadership is a bit tuned down. It's more up to the team than one person. How is that? How is that challenged?
Can you elaborate more about the question itself? Do
you think it's more difficult to be a leader in an agile team than in a non-agile team? And what extra skills do you need in an agile team?
I think that one of the most important skill is from these that were here is the coaching, for example, because coaching is that kind of approach that is very promoted by agile. When you don't try to impose on a team how to do something, how to make decisions, but you ask questions in order to help the team to make the decisions. So I think that this one I would put as one of the most important skills. Okay, there was another.
So based on your experience, can a leader in IT industry be someone who is not from the technical, having no technical background? Or is it really impossible?
I think that it depends on what company wants from the technical leader. I would say that it's not impossible, but it's very, very difficult. I think that I work with many leaders, and I've met one that didn't have this background, and it is very difficult. Because I think that in order to help people to solve the problems, you need some kind of background. Maybe you don't need the details, but the background is very helpful in order to help team to achieve the goals that team needs to that they should do. Another one.
What, in your opinion, is the best way to train the soft skills about which you are talking here? These are special soft skills. So, what are the best ways?
I don't know whether they are special, but some are more important or more difficult in IT context. I think the first one. The first thing that I always recommend is to go to the assertiveness training, because in most cases this is something that, especially in business environment, this is very important important skills. For example, when you are a leader, you are type of a mediator between the team and the business, and you have to be able to tell that something may not be done, or may be very difficult to be done, and this is one of the first things. Of course, maybe you read or heard about the book Management 3.0. There are also trainings in Management 3.0. These are more about technical side of the management, of being a leader. I don't want to advertise my trainings, but I also do that kind of trainings. So this is what I could say about it.
Okay, one question.
Okay. Who?
Let's
Okay.
let's say I don't want to stop coding and I want to develop my technical skills as well. However, there is a question: is there any techniques or things that help me to make the leadership stuff better or faster, just to focus on technical stuff and to focus on coding? How to find the right balance between those two things I have to manage with?
I think, in my opinion, the best way I just came across is this what I called here a coaching approach. So
yes,
you work with the team, and you also get the knowledge from the team.
Yes, but it doesn't give me a satisfaction.
Yeah.
And this is what I need to code something to get me satisfaction. That's why I'm asking about this. So.
Yes. The question is, do you really still want? Do you really want to? How much time do you want to spend on development? Because if you want to spend it 100 or 90% time, or 80, it may be really difficult.
I would say 50-50 is okay.
Also, I think that in many situations I meet, it's not a problem if 50-50.
So it's possible to achieve
yes.
such figure. Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, I have a question regarding this coaching approach, because I read several definitions regarding this. By coaching, you mean just asking questions, like, I don't know, Socrates method, that just ask the correct questions and allow people to answer them, like, I don't know, like I think that they are correct answers, or what do you mean by this coaching?
Yes, coaching is asking a question. For example, team just came up with some kind of solution, and you may tell them, okay, this is wrong because in this situation it will not work, for example, and you will explain why. But other question is, you may ask a question like, okay, what kind of risks you should take when when you follow this approach, for example. This is an answer that team tries to find this is a question that team tries to find an answer. So yes, this is about asking a question so that the other side find the answer. Any other questions?
Hi. It happens that I'm right now some kind of technical leader. I didn't want this role, but it happened. And I wanted to how to deal the situation when I'm the leader of the team and one of the members is more expertise and he thinks his ideas, his solutions are the best. And I'm not always, I don't agree with this person's every time. I think sometimes his solutions are risky, more dangerous for the project and unstable, for example.
So your question is what to do about it. Okay, I think that's just like we talk about here. I think that you should think about the questions you could ask to this person. So for example, if you have in mind some kind of risks, so just ask him, okay, what kind of risk should we consider in the situation? For example, in connecting with another system, or you have to make this question specific in your context. So I think sometimes it may be difficult to just make up some questions like this. So it's a good time just to sit at the end of the day and think for a while. What kind of questions I could ask in order to get deeper, to make deeper understanding of this solution, and to make this person to think more about this potential risks. Okay, any other questions?
Hello, I have one question. For example, let's imagine a situation. We have a young team, around 12 members, and we have a team leader who is leaving after half a year. And then, like everyday regular Java developer is assigned to become a technical leader on that team. Not a team lead, but a technical lead, just to lead on the technology expertise. And how would you start doing that when you see that team is not welcome?
It's not welcome, you mean?
Well, for your assignment, I mean.
You mean that
they're not quite happy, you know? Because
they're not quite happy.
Yeah, because you know you are just a regular developer, and then.
Okay, I would do what I called here talking about openly about the problem. So I would organize a small meeting with all the team, and I would say, you know, I can see that you don't like me being a leader. You know, I would like to better understand why. What do you need? What's going on? Can you tell me more about it? This is what I would try to do.
Okay.
Just to get more understanding. Maybe they're afraid, maybe...
that doesn't lead you to the answer, actually.
Why not?
Have
you tried this?
Yeah, I tried a different approach. We went to pub, actually, to drink beer after that.
Yeah, this is also...
that was good, yeah. I see people were upset about that anyway, so I actually didn't do anything. But in cases when I had to deal something with the team, I started doing buy-in workshops when everyone has a chance to say their, for example, to propose their solution examples.
Yeah.
So that worked quite well because everyone has a buy-in, and that wasn't like a single person had decided on something. So that is also a proposal for the previous question.
Okay.
When someone is having like different expertise and wanna say,
yeah, okay,
your solution is shit, my solution is better. So let's do a workshop, draw on the whiteboard.
Okay.
That really helps when everyone of the team has an input on stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Great, very great. Thank you for your suggestion. Yeah.
Welcome.
Another one question.
One more question. What is more important, technical background or rather soft skills? Maybe what is the, ratio between those two things?
I don't know the ratio because I don't know how to measure, especially those soft skills. But in my opinion, in my approach, when you are a leader and a technical leader, of course it depends on the company and what company wants and what kind of project. But in some way, the role of the leader is more important because other people depends on you. So if you fail to perform this role, so it's quite likely that the rest of the team also will fail in some way. So, but about the proportions, I cannot tell you because it depends. Because when you, how usually the path of development of being a leader looks like. In many companies, a leader becomes a leader at the beginning, becomes a leader of, for example, 2 or 3 persons. So of course, the technical skills are the most important one here. But when the time goes, when you become a leader of a bigger team or maybe 3 teams, then those soft skills are becoming more and more important. So it depends on the moment where you are and what kind of team you have. And
okay, because based on my experience, technical guys can respect people with really strong technical background. That's why I'm asking about this.
Background is important, but in many cases, it's not necessary that that the leader has to have the biggest skills, technical skills. And many leaders that people really have respect to are not the smartest ones regarding the technical
things.
So
basically it's up to the context.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, the smaller context, the more technical skills are important. The more complex context, the more soft skills are important. Any other questions? Okay, I can see any. So thank you very much and enjoy the rest of the event.